Hello. Welcome, welcome.
Good morning.
Hello. Morning.
Susan, where are you joining us from? Oh, you're on mute.
Here we go. I'm in Rome, New York.
Oh.
And I'm mostly gonna keep you guys muted until I need to say anything because these guys like to talk. So.
Awesome, awesome. How did you find out about the session today?
Sue Thornton.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Awesome. Okay, well, welcome. We're about to get started. I was just getting a few people time. Okay, we're right at 1. So we can start in just a sec. I'll give them 1 minute to come in. And while we're doing that, welcome, Jennifer. Glad to have you today. All righty, let me share my screen. All righty, so I will start off first. I'm Dr. Tonya Fanor. Welcome to the power of networking or virtual networking in general. And we are the Power Progressors. And really, as I introduce us, it kind of leads right into what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to kind of give a story of us, and that kind of will lead into what I'm going to talk about. So we began as a group, wow, like 5 months ago, almost in May. Has it been 5 months? June, July, August, September. Yeah, so really through networking, through virtual networking. And we came together. We were a part of an event called Grand Market Summit, shout out to NWA. And so we came together. We were all working on our businesses, all working to improve our businesses, and were kind of randomly placed together. And through that connection, we decided to meet on a regular basis and continue to work on our businesses. Though that was not required, and really, quite honestly, I was almost like, oh, another meeting, but, but they're such a great group that I was like, okay, no, I need to do this. And really, what I'm going to talk about today on my section is the power of consistency in networking. So today we're talking about virtual networking, and there's lots of different ways that you can do that, obviously, through social media, through just making connections with people on an individual basis. But really, I think that our goal should be quality and not quantity. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about in the power of consistency in networking, because as a group, we decided that we were going to meet every other week to really talk about how our businesses were going, talk about ways, things that we're learning, ways that we can help one another. We came together and we have grown so much in each of our own businesses. Personally, me, I work with individuals and business owners to enhance their communication skills, whether that's for public speaking, whether that's for social media, interviewing, anything allowing you to enhance your communication, but also interpersonal communication. And one thing when I'm dealing with people within relationships and building teams, you need to have that consistency within the team or the organization to really solidify those relationships. And even with us, because we made a commitment to continue to meet on a regular basis, it's really strengthened what was once just, it could have been a one weekend virtual networking kind of event that we attended, and then, and we kept meeting, throughout. We had a 6-week program, but we could have just stopped there. But we made a commitment to be consistent and to continue to meet. And so what I encourage you today is to find those connections. This is one of them. And I can encourage you that hopefully if you're joining us today, we will have this monthly, and that you will continue, that we can begin to form our own little, virtual community here, with the Power Progressors, to really help people to grow their businesses. But as you consistently come to different, whether it's, not just our events, but say you join an organization, there's obviously lots of various organizations that you can join and be a part of, whether it's a service organization, a professional organization. As you're consistently a part of those organizations consistently, then that's where you really build relationships. And so then when it comes to doing business, you're going to become first in mind. When they know someone in that area that needs your service, it's not just, some random person that you're getting, connections with or networking with. It's someone that then begins to build a relationship with you, and they know you and you're a friend. And so they will gladly refer business to you. And so, yes, there are times when, through that, it might start off as kind of, I don't know, say a cold call, or just you're just meeting them for the first time out of the blue, whether it's through an organized, meeting or professional organization. But then it's up to you to build that relationship and build that consistency, whether it's reaching out, to someone one-on-one, or over time in an organization. That's where you'll really find a true wealth in your business connections, that these are, people that will come to know you and what you do, and refer you without even you asking them I've referred Chantel, for organizations of people. She didn't even know it. I was just in a meeting and someone said they need an organization. I said, oh, I know the person for you. And so, people will start to refer you without you even knowing them, just by knowing the quality of the person that you are, and having that relationship with you. So I encourage you to be consistent, in your community, whether it's you making a goal to meet once a week, or maybe you start your own organization. I've started writers groups for other authors. I've started, various different, things where I can meet consistently, and you have that accountability with others. And that's where I think you'll find that you really begin to grow your business and grow your networks and associations in a way that is really valuable and really has quality. It's not just a bunch of, numbers or different contacts you've made, but these are people you really know. And so that is pretty much all that I wanted to share, as far as really being consistent in networking, and adding quality, not just quantity, to your virtual networking. So with that, I am going to pass the mic to a very good friend that's also a Power Progressor. Chantel Akbart is the she's going to talk about the power of bridging social capital, but she is a speaker, she's a life coach, she has studied personal development for the last 15 years, and is a professional organizer. She teaches others the fundamental organization is in every aspect of our lives. And through that, she's going to talk about more how to bridge those social capital networks today. So let me go to her screen. Oops. Okay, Chantel.
All right. Hello, everyone. The lawnmower is passing by. Sorry if you guys can hear that. But my name is Chantel. Thank you so much, Dr. Tanya. It is a pleasure to be here and to network with this international team of brilliance from all over the world. But we are what you define as social capital. So social capital is defined as the networks of relationships among people who live and work in a particular society, enabling that society to function effectively. Now we know that we no longer have to work in order to work together thanks to technology and the situation that we're in. But how do you get your social capital to work together and to help you move forward in functioning with your goals? One way that I suggest is knowing who goes where. And when we know who goes where, it's almost like a puzzle, basically. So there's all these different areas of life, and every day something wants our attention to focus on, whether it's finances or our physical life or our recreational. There's educational, there's professional, there's mental and emotional. There's your spiritual life. There's all these different areas of life that sometimes when we may think, I need help with one area, it might actually be another area, or we may not know where we need to get the help at. So a lot of times we end up just spinning our wheels and not moving forward. But when we know the type of social capital that we need, it's a lot easier to plug into that, to find that in our community, and then to figure out how we can work together with them. Therefore, the time that we spend isn't wasted. A lot of times there's two different types of social capital. So there's bridging social capital and there's bonding social capital. Bonding social capital is what we do with the friends that we know, the ones that we have, the people that we've kept for years. It's always good to have bonds, but when you are trying to reach your goals, it's best to have bridges. And a lot of you may have heard, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. And just as Dr. Tonya said, because I work with this group of individuals, if someone needs a service that they have, I'll say, hey, okay, I have a friend who works in the professional arena that I can connect you to. Or I may know someone who's skilled in finances that I can put you forward to. Paul here is a mental, he's in the mental area. So I connect, can connect clients with him. So it's really important to, as a foundation of personal development, have those go-to people in these areas that when you are in need of something, you know who you can connect with, you know exactly what you need in that area, and then you know how to receive the assistance needed. A lot of times we don't get because we don't ask. And sometimes we don't ask because we don't know what we need. So we continue to think it's one issue when really it may be another. So I help people just to define the type of assistance needed in their life to help them bridge the gaps, find that capital, and then move forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, didn't I mute myself? So thank you. That was awesome. I wanted more. I don't know about you all. Okay, so that was awesome. We're going to keep it moving to Afia, who will be talking about the power of association, goals, and engagement. And with that, Afia has worked for over 25 years in early childhood education, but early on found her voice brought out through the best in others. She quickly realized her leadership was needed and uses her gift to speak life by motivating people to be their best self. And why you should, she's going to discuss about the Power Association through AGE, is an acronym too, Association Goals and Engagement. And she's also the owner of TZ. Please, she didn't put that on there, but I'll throw that out there. And so, Afia Tyler, can you share with us today?
Yes, thank you. Welcome, you guys. So my name is Afia Tyler, and I'm the owner of Tease That Please and Other Sparkly Things, where we have apparel that motivates. We use art and positive affirmations to motivate through our apparel. So I don't have on my clothing today, but I still want it to be sparkly because that's what we do. So I'm here to talk about AGE. I want to start off with association. So association is, when you're growing up, I used to always hear guilty by association. It's like, oh, what does that mean? My gosh, but as Power Progressors, we're not talking about the guilt, but we're talking about the importance of association. So association is being a part of a group, people organized in a joint purpose, like us, the Power Progressors. We are an association, a group. Okay, and it's also having a connection with the corporate link. So you guys being a part of our webinar, you guys are associated with the Power Progressors, okay? So you have the group, and then you have you being associated with the group. So it's really important to build an alliance. Whatever business that you have or whatever you're trying to do in life, your goals, you want to build that alliance with a group of people that are like-minded like you. Like Tonia said before, our group was created to support one another in our businesses. So it's really important that you build an alliance with someone that's going in the same direction that you are, because you don't have all the answers, and someone else may have already had the blueprint or the system that you need in order to get your business to the next level. So it's really important to build that alliance, and make sure that you're working towards the same goals to either mutually benefit you or the other party that you're connected with. There's power in numbers, so why do something alone? You always want to be connected with others to help you brainstorm and to stretch your thinking, okay? So that's association. For G, it's goal. A goal is an idea of the future or desired result that a person or a group or people envision. So plan to commit to achieve a goal. People endeavor to reach goals within an infinite time or setting the goals. Goals is a process of taking active steps to achieve that desired outcome. You have to have a goal. I know everyone's not spiritual, but I've always heard the good book say, write the vision and make it plain. You have to be going somewhere. If you don't have a goal, then you're just aimlessly shooting for nothing. I always think about a goal as a target. You have that bullseye, and there's that center in the middle. And your goal is to try to get to that middle hole, that circle. But there's all these other circles that are surrounding. And you may miss the mark, but you still have to keep going towards the goal. Always keep going towards the goal. So make sure that you're setting goals, and make sure that they're attainable and measurable. You don't want to say, oh, I want to buy a house, I'm just going to go buy a house. No, there's a process in getting to buying that house. You have to save money. You have to work on your credit. There's all these other entities. You have to figure out what neighborhood you want to live in. If you have children, what school they're going to go to. There's all these things. There's the process. But then there's the performance and putting in the action. You have to have action because you have the process of what you're going to do. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours a day and I'm going to work on getting my credit together, calling creditors, whatever you're going to do, talking to my accounts, getting a lender, whatever. That's your process. But then the performance part is putting that into action. Okay, and then the outcome is to buy that house, right? You can use that in any analogy. If you're in school, your process is you're going to study a few hours a day. You want to get that GPA up because you want the dream job or what have you. You can use all that in business. So make sure that you have short and long-term goals, and make sure your goals are motivating. You don't want to have goals that are like, boring. You want to make sure that you have goals that really motivate you to get to that next step in your process, and absolutely write them down. I know for my family, when the new year comes, everyone's like, oh, I have a New Year's resolution. And for us, we have goals. We have goals. And when my children were younger, I made sure that they had academic goals, personal goals, spiritual goals. And then as they got older, it's like we had to kind of beef it up a little bit. Now they have career goals, financial goals, or their dreams or their wishes. So make sure that you have something and write it down. I'm extra, so I'll type it up, I'll print it, I'll put pictures next to it, I laminate it, and I have it up on my house so I can see it often. You want to always have your goals and your dreams right in your face so you see that, you remember that. That's something that you're leading towards. And then when you get to that goal, you want to make sure that you celebrate it. Hey, have a good time with that. Take yourself to treat some ice cream, something, I don't know, but do something to celebrate your short-term and your long-term goals. It's very important to celebrate the little things. We're always waiting for the big thing. But if you got that credit straight and that score is a 650 or above, it's like, woo, I did that, right? Give yourself some kudos for that. All right, so moving on, I want to talk about being engaging. So to engage is to occupy, attract an individual, someone's interest or their attention. The Power Progressors, you're on this webinar and we're trying to engage you. We're trying to keep your attention on the topic of networking in the new normal. Last time we talked about navigating the new normal, but now we're really talking about networking. We're trying to keep you engaged in that. We want to capture and we want to arrest, seize, draw, attract, gain your attention, okay? We're trying to keep you here, motivated. And also it's to participate or become involved in. So to take part in. Our organization as a Power Progressor, we want you to take part and engage with us. excuse me, when you have an association, all participants need to feel like they belong when you're engaged with someone. So I belonged to a group before where I felt like I really didn't belong. I was like, what do I have to give to this? You know, and when you're engaging people, you always want to make sure they belong. Everyone has something to bring to the table. I was talking to a friend of mine, and it's like, well, you know, I go to this group and I'm just sitting there. No one talks to me. I don't feel like. You have to get outside of your box and you have to engage. People don't always have to come to you, but sometimes you have to go to them, reach outside of your box, stretch yourself, and try to meet people that you don't know. And that's where that, you know, go back to that association. Put yourself in a group of like-minded people, and then you'll always feel like you belong to something, right? But in the engaging, just make sure that that you're just like building relationships. Engagements is all about relationships, making sure that you're connecting with one another and talking, and just making sure that that everyone belongs, and keep that where it is. But I'm going to go on to age. So we have the association, we have the goal, we have the engagement. So age is nothing but a number. We have millennials, we have Gen Z, we have Generation X, we have baby boomers. At the end of the day, age is nothing but a number. And people say, "Oh, you're only how old you feel." Okay, well, that's give or take. But at the end of the day, we all have something to give. I've been a supervisor for the last 10 years, and I will tell you, it was a stretch, because my challenge was I had people that I was supervising that were older than me, and they didn't really feel like I had what it took, because it's like, well, how does she know? She's young. She doesn't really know anything. And then I had people younger than me that thought I knew everything. I was like, good Lord. So there's that balance. But I figured out a way to make sure that my elder staff, that I made sure they felt needed. They had something to bring to the table. Yes, there's a lot of things they knew that I did not, but then I was also able to help them shape their thinking, and help them with change. Some people just are not really good at change. So I was able to make them feel comfortable, and know that change is really okay, and we can take baby steps to get to the change. But then I have my millennials that help me with all the technology, because good Lord, this virtual reality that we live in, Zoom and all that, I was lost, okay? Using Facebook and Instagram for my business was a true challenge, and my children have been doing it for years. So they're like, oh, Mom, you just at hashtag, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, well, you do that, and I'll do this, right? So I just want to encourage you just to know that no matter what age you are, you can still aspire to reach your dreams and your goals. Just keep making goals. No matter how old you are, there is always something else that you can do, and you have something to give. So I hope that you enjoyed everything I talked today. Remember to build your associations, to always make your goals, and to engage. And thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you so much as a Power Progressors. Tease that, please, and other sparkly things. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you, Afia, for that. We are going to move next to Paul Cork, who is going to talk to us today about the networker mindset. And Paul is an author, speaker, and founder of the Leadership Architecture, where he defines leadership for organizations and builds leadership development strategies. Paul is the author of 3 books on the mindset, and also the Mindset Journal. Paul provides inspirational, engaging keynotes, motivational, and after-dinner talks on mindset and leadership. And his mission is to create leaders in the world now, and wants to see their be a business for good. And so, Paul, with that, share with us about the networker mindset.
Brilliant, thank you. So firstly, I have to say, I do like the fact that age is just a number. So that is definitely a mindset. So I'm all in with that. So what I'm going to talk to you about when it comes to networking mindset is I'm going to talk about 3 laws of life and networking that we can apply. And it's all about mindset. Now, if you think about it, these are very unusual times that we live in at the moment. And I know somebody the other day was saying to me, what do you mean by new normal? Because right now, this just is all starting to feel normal. And when we were talking about the fact that there's been quite a number of winners during this year and everything that's been going on. There's actually been a lot of losers as well who've struggled to cope with the adversity, struggled to cope with the stress. And there's been that much going on. So those winners and losers, I think those that have actually been able to maintain are actually winners as well. But what you've got to appreciate is that if you are struggling to cope, if you are having negative thoughts, then one of the laws that I'm about to talk about is the law of belief. Because what you believe with passion and feeling will become your reality. So the quality of your life will be dependent on the quality of your thoughts. So if you go to a networking event and actually you're not in the right frame of mind, if you are struggling with stress, you are struggling in life right now, there's a good chance that you'll potentially project that. So what I do say to people, especially when I'm coaching, is that if that's where you are right now, you need to take time out to re-energize yourself and get yourself in the right frame of mindset to be able to go and know that when you're talking, that you can be yourself. So the first law I've talked about is the law of belief. Now the next law, I think if you go to a networking event and you're going to be yourself, then actually it's about the law of attraction, because we're attracted to energy at the end of the day. So I think that when you go to a networking event, what you should be doing is you should be building relationships. You shouldn't be going there to tell and talk about yourself too much. You shouldn't be going there to automatically start selling, because if you do that, people will back off. So actually it's about asking, being yourself and building relationships, just the way that you'd normally build relationships. And actually when you've been to a networking event, during the networking events, arrange to have one-to-ones afterwards. And then when you have those one-to-ones to get to know other people better, it's the same again. Don't be telling too much about yourself, find out about them. And actually you might find out how you could help one another. They might find out that you can actually help somebody that they know. And that's where the referral comes in. But actually really it's about building the relationship. So because what I've talked about so far is the belief in yourself, being in the right frame of mind, making sure that you're projecting the right level of energy, being yourself, because then you will attract what you give out indefinitely. And one of the most important things when it comes to networking that you have to believe is that you really need to believe that the causes that you put in motion will eventually get you the effects that you want in life. So that's the law of cause and effect. So my viewpoint is that if I can demonstrate that I'm helpful, if I can demonstrate that I'm useful, if I can demonstrate that I'm more than capable of helping people, put those together, then people are more likely to want to do business with me or to refer me. So there's that demonstration, but the demonstration comes through a genuine want to help people. So when you put those three laws together, the three simple ways of literally reframing your mindset to go to networking events, virtual networking events, arrange your one-to-ones afterwards, and knowing that you believe in yourself, you're attracting the right type of people and energy, and that you will, if you are consistent, you will get the right effects if you set the causes in motion.
Awesome. Awesome. All the way from the UK, helping us change our mindset. So yes, the Power Progressors are global. So we appreciate that, Paul. And that is so key. So thank you for that. And so next, we're going to bring it back to the West Coast of United States with Jose Estrada, talking about the power of being bilingual. And yes, and that's important, we're global. That Jose has been teaching and tutoring Spanish for over 10 years. His knowledge and his knowledge of both Spanish and English makes him a perfect instructor. He turns what seems impossible into something that is not only doable, but is also fun and enjoyable. His kind, friendly, and witty personality makes him a great instructor. And he not only shows it to his students in the techniques to learn Spanish, but he also does it in a way that makes them want to learn and practice even more. So Jose, share with us about the power of being bilingual in networking. Oh, Jose? Mm-hmm.
You're muted, Jose. Can he hear us?
Let me, he's muted and he does not hear.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was muted. I didn't realize that. So I want to say thank you, Tonya, and thank you everyone for being here with us today. And the power of being bilingual is, in a few words, that it at least doubles all the productive activities that you do. At least, because it can do even more than just double everything that you do. For instance, you can make more money just by speaking a second language. In some jobs, you make more money if you are bilingual or trilingual, or if you speak more languages, just by the fact that you speak the language. Sometimes it doesn't have to be even practical in the work, but if you actually use it, even better. You can also communicate with your potential customers. When you meet people, when you create connections, you have a greater number of people you can reach out to. And that by itself, if it doesn't matter what you sell, if you have a product that people can use, you increase your market. It's a broader audience, and Spanish or any other languages, it really enhances your communication skills. And if you can reach out the markets of people who speak the most spoken languages, you would be able to reach out millions of people. And now that we are doing almost everything online, you can reach out to people who live in Central South America, Spain, and Europe, and many other places. So if you have that skill and communicate with your employees, even better, you can hire people from other countries. Now we are working on the virtual world, so some people have virtual assistants who work in different countries. If you speak Spanish, you would be able to communicate and hire other people who speak different languages and communicate effectively with them. You can also network with other people and build relationships, so like we are doing now. I'm doing it with people who speak Spanish as well. So I have different groups to work on different projects. So I'm not limited to people, to work with people who speak English. So I have that skill, and it doesn't have to be Spanish. It could be French or Armenian or Italian, whatever language you are more passionate about. And if your business expands internationally, you will be able and equipped to do that in a little bit, in an easier form, in an easier way, if you are able to communicate the language of the countries where your product is going to be sold. But as I said, now you can sell everything online. You only need a website, sometimes not even a website, and you have the ability to sell your products to other people who speak different languages, who are all over the world. And everything you do in your business expands. You can also create marketing campaigns in different languages. You can make presentations, and anything that you do, as I said at the beginning, anything and everything you do doubles, and sometimes even triples, depending on what you do. But definitely, if you are an employee, you have more opportunities. I get people who say, you know what, they are even requiring someone who speaks Spanish in this area because the population is Hispanic mainly. And I wish I was able to learn to speak Spanish already, because that's my dream job. And it doesn't limit your opportunities if you don't speak, different languages. So I think that there are so many benefits of being bilingual, and the power of being bilingual, I think it would be that it doubles everything that you do. It's like having another you to speak a different language. And especially if you have a great personality and you can reach out to people, I think that's a great skill to have. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Yes, I am a firm believer in that, and wish I need to go back fluent in Italian and Japanese, but I'm going to get back on it. So thank you for that. And so to close out today, we have one last presenter, who is Susan Thornton, who is going to talk to us about the power of the elevator speech. Susan brings a wealth of leadership and entrepreneurial tools to inspire others to achieve their professional goals. Both as her career in nursing, as a nursing professional development specialist, Susan has provided leadership and business guidance for healthcare organizations, academic institutions, government and professional organizations. And she's a change agent, a servant leader in her profession, and seeks to inspire entrepreneurs to achieve personal growth, which is necessary to lead exceptional lives. And so I'm excited to hear from you, Susan, about the power of the elevator speech and network.
Well, thank you, Tonya. I am so excited to be here today. And the power of a great elevator speech. I help entrepreneurs to create success. So what's that mean? Well, the power of a very powerful elevator speech is something that provides two things. When we go to a networking event or when we show up, they call it the elevator speech because you're trying to capture a client's attention as you're going up an elevator with them. For that, the goals of that is that you want to provide help to others, and you also want others to be sharing your needs. You're listening to what they need to do. So networking in and of itself is that relationship, and it's the resources for your career. Now we have many tools as we're networking, whether they're live and virtual. We've kind of moved into this virtual world, so now we have different sections of that, and the relationships that we build through written information, eye contact, body language, that we've all been in a room. You can read people very easily with that. On a web camera, it's a lot harder, right? So you really have to stay engaged with people when you come to a virtual type event, and trying to gather their contact information and phone number. You can't grab their business card when you're virtual anymore. So you want to always do a follow-up with them, follow-up email outreach, and handwritten thank you notes are still always awesome tools for networking. But our main point today is trying to capture somebody's attention and build that relationship. So the powerful elevator speech is an opportunity for you to build yourself a opening line that gets the hook in, so somebody else will come and they will follow you and want to get to know you better. So the power of the speech is that it's a simple phrase. It's no more than 7 to 9 words, and it tells people what you do. It's not how you do it, but what you do. So you're selling the benefits, not the features of yourself. So creating a powerful elevator speech, there's 4 components to it. The what, when you write one, is going to be the helping verb. The who is your target market or your ideal customer. The how is what you deliver the customer wants. And then the benefit is the key benefit to that. So what we're looking at when we do this self-introduction of ourselves is just really specifically, I created one the other day. I have a few different elevator speeches or taglines, you would say, but it's always something that says, this is what I do, because when it sparks it, how many people here actually, when I opened up and said, I help entrepreneurs to create success, who was actually interested in what I said? A few? Okay. You're kind of like, how do you do that? And then you open up, then you spend another 20, 30 seconds giving them the rest of the details of what you actually do. But a very powerful one grabs their attentions and allows you that opportunity to do that. So that's my tool for today, is writing a very powerful elevator speech. Take a picture of the screen so that you have the template formula. And what I want you to do now is, and by all means, it's not going to be, it takes a long time to get a really, really good elevator speech down. So one of those things is that you would think about the formula, you can plug in the keywords, you can practice it, and it needs to flow very smoothly. And then you need to bring it into your core of everything that you do when you're working. So an event, it's not something that maybe you do have one on the fly. What we're going to do now is open it up so that you can actually practice using your elevator speech. And shall we start with, who wants to go first?
Hopefully one of our guests.
Paul, let's go with Paul.
Oh,
Go ahead and give us your elevator speech and give us a little spiel of what you do.
Yeah, no worries. I was just writing it down using your formula. So I thought just to give other people a little bit of time just to write theirs as well. So I help small to medium-sized organizations build leadership capability to enhance performance and maximize profitability. That would be mine.
Very good. Very good. So I got an impression that you are going to help me make more money.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you then, right? Okay.
I hope so.
Who else wants to go?
Jose raises.
Oh, Jose? I can't see him here on my.
Let me make sure that I unmute myself first. So I help people to learn and communicate effectively in the Spanish language.
Great. So I got that you teach Spanish or that you communicate. That's awesome. That's good. Who's next?
I can go. So I help busy moms organize their space, mind, and time so they can make life work.
Okay. And you got to deliver it with energy, right?
Yes, for sure.
So keeping it tight and small and tighter as you work on your keywords. Think about what the keywords are in there and continue honing it down so that it just becomes a natural flow as you move forward on it.
Afia has her hand up.
Okay, Afia. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Thank you for reminding me. So I motivate people using positive affirmations in art, and that's to help people live a more positive life.
Very good.
Use your system.
Yeah. It's a good system. I got it from a very grand marketeer, so.
Kudos.
Been using it for years, and it's very helpful. Great. How about our guests?
Hi, I'm Dawn Phelps, and I help businesses build sales funnel and up-level their marketing.
Woohoo! That was great. So you can help me with marketing.
Yes.
And sales funnels, like what kind of funnels?
The sales funnels replace the website. So instead of just selling one item, you sell one item and then you upsell other items to them. You've all been through those funnels. So where you buy something and then, oh, here's an added on bonus. So that's a very effective way to increase your revenue when you're doing marketing.
Very good. Well, thank you. Who else would like to go? Bobby or Carrie or Charlene or Susan?
Well, I mean, I'll go if there's no one else that wants to volunteer. And see, and that's exactly what I do. So I'm Dr. Tonya Fenor, and I help people overcome the fear of public speaking in situations like this, as well as in person, but also to through effective communication tools. And so definitely, yeah, it definitely is important to put all this into practice on a daily. But go ahead, Susan. I don't know if you're wrapping up.
Oh, that's just great. I think the power of practicing and being able to speak is a very, very powerful piece of the whole networking process. And as you learn the tools, you know, and this is actually one of those easier, I mean, it's a harder place, but it's also easier because there's no real physical connection to being, whereas anybody's really going to see you sweating or worrying or those kinds of things. So it's a good place to practice those skills too, and get some coaching from others a part of it. So if you continue to keep working on those things and share your practice in front of the mirror, that's always a good thing. Get it down, hone it down to just the keywords that really resonate. It's a great opportunity, and we can continue networking.
Yes, and so let me just follow up with you. By having a great elevator speech, how can that help them to grow their business?
Well, thank you. A great elevator speech will get you set apart from others. So if you're in a room with a group of people and you're still building that relationship, the opening key of the elevator speech just opens the door for you to be able to speak more and provide opportunities. And then you become more helpful and servant. So if you start with the elevator speech, give them a brief 20, 30 seconds of a little bit more, but not heavy sell. It's more of a servant. I'm going to pass information. I'm sharing with you what I do. People are more intrigued to start that relationship development with you.
That's awesome.
Because they can see opportunities that they're going to gain. And then you can do all the listening pieces. Ask them questions. What do you do?
Exactly. Ed too, as a, as they say, yes, that's awesome. Anyone else want to share how what they discussed today in regard to their different pieces? You know, you can go back to Chantel as far as building social capital, or you know, anyone who wants to jump in there. How can what you talked about help in others in the, you know, progressing and growing their business?
I'd say, you know, when you know where you're going, it's really important to find the team, the help, the mentorship, the coaching that can help walk alongside you to get there. And so that's why for me, it's helpful to like compartmentalize the different areas and like, okay, I'm having an issue with some financial things, I can reach out to that specialist in that area. Or I want to build my business further, I can find a business mentor. And there's a lot of different agencies that are in our community that are like there to support us. But when you know what you want, then you can figure out easily how to connect with that and to find that through resources, you know, community groups or whatever may be out in the community.
Well, that's a perfect tie in to what, let me just ask you, you said different types of groups. How can you begin to find those different groups, social capital groups within your community?
Well, I found mine through a church. So churches offer a lot of different small groups, and you know, some are biblically based and then some aren't. But through my church then led me to another one, which led to another, and so on and so forth. So there's also, I know in Florida we have 211 is a resource line. Sometimes calling local resource lines could assist you with that. So I would say like churches, community groups, civil associations, things like that. Schools, universities, they can usually help.
That's awesome. And you mentioned, we've actually mentioned it when with Power Progressors met, like organizations like SCORE, and there's various service organizations, Kiwanis, Rotary, Line, all those type of things are really great other sources within the community that do great work too.
Yes.
I was going to say, yes, I'm part of the Lions, the Rome Lions Club, and I have been since we moved here to Rome. And it is a great way to network because often these groups also coordinate with the Chamber of Commerce and commerce in the areas that you're in. So what better way than to get an in through a service network? Plus, you're kind of showing yourself out there as somebody oriented towards your community, and interested in your community. So, just as the membership chair for the Rome Lions Club, I encourage everybody to look at their own Lions clubs. Yeah, because we need members, and there's a lot of service to be done out there that can overlap with being a part of a service organization like that. So, just a 2 cents for that.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that, Susan, because yes, it's an awesome organization. And you mentioned the chamber. Definitely contact your local chamber of commerce. It's a great
and they often have a lot, at least in our area, they have a networking meeting. I think the cost to join the commerce is not that high. I don't think it's that expensive, but they have, at least in my neck of the woods, at least monthly meetings, if not more often than that, where everybody goes and they meet and network together. So it's potentially a really good opportunity to branch out and meet other people that you could offer to provide services to or get services from. So
awesome. I saw some hands. I don't know if that was from earlier. Did you have your hand up for right now, or was that earlier?
No, I can use it now, though. I was going to piggyback off of what Chantel was saying, because she was talking about basically association and goals. Just making sure that you associate. There's also Facebook groups that you can be a part of, Instagram groups that, that can lead you in different directions, either the way you're going or somewhere that you may want to go. So that's another way to find groups. But yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what Chantel said, because knowing where you're going, that's all about goal setting, and it's really important that if you don't know where you're going, you could be led astray. You know what I mean? You have to have your eye on the prize and know that you have a goal, and they have to be short and long term. You don't want to stress yourself out with that long term goal. You want to have those little ones, like I said, so you can celebrate. Everybody needs a reason to celebrate. So by all means, set those short term and long term goals so you can celebrate, and we can be right there with you. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Did someone else have their hand up or want to speak about, share a little bit?
Tanya, I am a member of 2 networking groups. So one's hashtag linked online, and that's becoming an international networking group. So that might be worth looking at. And the other one is hashtag move online as well. So both big networking groups, international groups that you potentially get involved in. So I just thought to share that. And I do think, the thing with networking, for those people who haven't done a lot of networking, it is really just, stepping in and giving it a go. I think virtually now networking's become a lot more easier than it is to actually have to go to a face-to-face and try and meet people. And, for some people that can be quite difficult at times. But with virtual networking, everybody has a chance to talk and speak, and it's quite well structured and organized. So if you're not doing it, I just really do advise it, because some of these groups are fantastic. You get to know some great people.
Definitely. Is there anyone else?
I just have one thing to say that I wanted to add, is that you network and don't forget to be a part of a group. So I have networking groups that I am a part of because I'm a nurse, because they're in my market, because I'm attached to them through relationships and the business I can come from them through the years. And then I also have the business ownership side of me that's not really nursing. Okay. People have not seen that. So I've spent time in entrepreneurial groups to network and grow and learn. So when you figure out how you're networking, it's not just all about, oh, I can get business off of these people. It's also who else I can grow, who's going to push me and grow me. And that's kind of what the Power Progressors are about, is to help to push and grow you into different avenues of where you're not necessarily thinking in that growth.
Awesome. Jose, you wanted to share?
Yes. Yeah, and I just wanted to say that it's great to join different groups and connect with people. On the groups or the people would be more productive or more effective for you, because if you join so many groups, many people, you are going to be overwhelmed and you are not going to perform your best. We go back to quality over quantity. And especially now that we get so many invitations to join different groups, we are like 20 groups and we don't visit not even half of them. So focus on what gives you the most support. Whatever group gives you what you need at the moment. And you can focus on that and do a better job. You can perform better. You are going to present yourself in a better way and you will get more results.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Just like I was saying in the opening, is quality, over quantity, that really you have, when you have that depth of relationship, it makes it easy to network and to be able to share those resources with others, because these people, and that it's not just, just a random connection. But so I think that's a great place to end on today. And with that, we invite you to continue to consistently meet with us, as we will be meeting once a month and sharing different topics to help you to grow really personally and professionally in different areas. And so if you register for this session, then you should receive, you will receive a follow-up and registration for our next event next month. And so definitely keep in touch with us. If there's anyone on here, any of the speakers today you want to meet with, you also have their information, let us know. We'd love to connect with you. And I know, Chantel, you have an event coming up. Does anyone else want to briefly share any individual things before we wrap up today?
Yeah, thanks. So as a professional organizer, I help people in their space, mind, and time. I had a first session. We're doing kind of like an information series this month where I talked about the importance of space organization. The next one on the 19th on my Facebook Live will be about mind, how to organize that aspect. And then the third on the 29th will be about the time. And then on October 1st, we're going to kick off a 9-week coaching series, that I'm looking to invite people to. So thank you.
Cool. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Susan, you want to?
Yes, I wanted to announce that Uniform Leader, which is my company, we sell medical uniforms and supplies. Yeah, I've recently, in one of the conferences I've been in recently, found out that a lot of nurses and nursing students have lost their professional wear. They lost all their uniforms in the fires that have been occurred. We've had in the state of Oregon, in case you're not aware of it, state of Oregon and Washington, there's like 38 fires currently burning just in the Northwest alone. Wiped out, full towns are flat on the ground. So they're still continuing to work. They're in shelters, and I'm partnering with some of those disaster release in the nursing schools out here. And so I've started a campaign called Nurses in Need. And for anybody who'd like to purchase a love gift of a set of scrubs and a note of encouragement and how to care for them, I've set up a website for that. It is www.nursesinneed.com. And you can go and purchase something and I will get them to the proper people that they need to go to. But I'll be posting it throughout social media as well. And I appreciate everybody's support when I get it, all that links up and set. So.
Awesome. That is really amazing that you're doing that, Susan. So that is definitely one support. Jose, did you, let me see. Uh-oh. Jose's screen looks like it might be frozen. While, Jose is coming back on, I will briefly share. If you go to Dr. Tonya Fenor on Facebook, Instagram, by next week, either this Saturday and probably next Wednesday, I'm just going to do a free fearless speaking masterclass to do a workshop. If you know you want to do more speaking, networking, interacting with people, but have a fear of that, then definitely you can check that out. And Jose, are you back? Does anyone else want to share any last things? And we're going to close out.
I just wanted to everybody can contact information.
Jose kind of went out on us.
Also an opportunity for networking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just to leave their contact information in the chat box for everybody, so that way we can stay connected. And this could be also an opportunity for networking.
Definitely.
That's it.
All righty. So if there's nothing else, and we didn't ask if there are any last questions that anyone has, anything, definitely let us know. And also you'll get an email. You can also email us topics if there's something you would like to learn more about for our next sessions. Definitely we're open to suggestions about future topics. So any questions, suggestions, feel free to email us back. And definitely we look forward to speaking on those issues. But we appreciate your time. We're not going to hold you too long. We appreciate you hanging in there with us today, and all the great topic, all the information we received was really valuable. So thank you for joining us, and we hope that you join us again for our next session next month.
Yes, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you all for coming. If you want to download the chat, you click the 3 little icons box on the right, and there should be a thing that pops up that says Save Chat. And you can download the whole chat for everybody's contact information or anything that's gone on in there today.
Learn something new every day. Thank you, Susan.
I know.
Oh, goodness.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a great day.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to wait. Yeah.
Great job, guys.
Good job.
It was so good